Hey everyone, Tony D and Little Joan here on a screenwriter's, well, what are we going to call this? I guess we'll call this a hot take. Another hot take. Joan, you awake? You awake? Okay, good. Uh, we're going to have me rant about woke Hollywood. I think this is kind of woke. It's not super woke. But this is Deadline, and this is an article they have. Obama reveals his favorite books of 2019. Pretty innocuous article. I have no problem with it per se, except that, Deadline puts it under business. How is this business? I don't understand that. This is the continuing decline of publications in entertainment media. I mean, to me, there's just no rhyme or reason to it anymore that you're going to put, Barack Obama under business when he reveals it. How is that business? I guess you could call it business, that it's going to up the sales of all these books that he's recommended, but it just seems like an excuse to talk about Barack Obama. And then, Variety has the same article too. I think they're owned by the same company, and at least they put that under politics and put kind of a funny picture on it, which it is. I get, because it's Obama, it's more political, but that's at least close. I don't even know why this is in there. I mean, how is this related to show business? I you know how is this going to impact movie box office, television? I get the Obamas are in the business now, but it seems like this is weird. This is a weird sort of like, hey, let's make sure the Obamas are in our publication so people read it, kind of weird. So, I mean, again, I don't have any problem if this was like a general newspaper, but this is Variety, this is Deadline. These are supposed to be publications about the movie industry, TV industry, entertainment. And, even if you grant that the Obamas are now, they have a production company or whatever, they have some sort of deal, I think it's with Netflix. The fact that Obama likes certain books. I mean, I've never seen an article like, here's this studio head's top 10 books, or whatever, and it's completely different from how they, of course, treat Trump. And Trump, you look at the picture. This is Deadline, and it's all about his latest Twitter, tweets. This one is under TV and breaking news. And again, it's not even either of those things at this point, because these are kind of tweets. I mean, if you're talking breaking news on the internet, you got to talk like 5 minutes ago. It's definitely not TV. Unless I guess they're talking about it on TV. But this happened. Technically, this all happened yesterday. His tweet storm that they're covering. What they're not apparently covering, which is breaking news, is some of Trump's tweets got deleted or shadow banned on Twitter. So I wonder if they'll be covering that. You could argue that Trump is a celebrity. He was a TV star. So I guess TV is appropriate, kind of. Really, it's more politics than anything else. This really isn't about television. He's not promoting his TV show anymore. He's not on The Apprentice. He doesn't have any deals pending or films. So it's just weird to me. I guess it's just their audience, the Hollywood audience. Oh, we got to see what that evil Trump is up to. But, and the picture they use, it's like any chance to undercut him, they take. And it's just, stay in your lane, Deadline. I mean, Deadline's supposed to be, to me, it's supposed to be even more inside than Variety is. So, like, why are you even covering this? Like, Donald Trump is not really talking about the industry, talking about Nancy Pelosi and New York and how messed up both those cities are. I mean, come on. Then this is TV because it's about Andrew Yang coming back to MSNBC and ending the feud. But it's again, it's not much about. I mean, MSNBC, who cares? right? I mean, the ratings really aren't there. If they were covering what they normally would cover, in my view, what they would be covering is the hottest things, because that tends to be entertainment. It's all about the hot channels and who's on top and what they're doing right and all that kind of stuff. This is like covering the, you know, second or third place finisher in a race and ignoring like the top guys. Who cares that he's come back? They care, I think, because politically, that's where their minds are, and they'll do anything to promote Andrew Yang because, I mean, it's all about promoting the left, and in this case, it's communism. But you know, people keep telling me, no, Andrew Yang's not a communist. He's a communist. So, and then of course Michael Moore talking about Trump having a strong chance of winning. Nice to see Michael Moore out of his hat in one picture. But this is just a rehash of the Democracy Now! Thing I talked about the other day. But, you know, the article is, Moore has a history of being correct with his predictions. I don't know if his predictions are all that great. And then it ends with, Moore has officially thrown his support behind Bernie Sanders, saying the Vermont senator can crush President Trump at the polls. Yeah, except that, you know, when he does it, Michael Moore, I guess, will support whoever the Democrats put up, and then whoever that is, he'll call a really good person, because, you know, it's really all about Democrat. But it's also about communism. And if you don't believe me, look at this imagery. Now, the Writers Guild of America is in the middle of a big lawsuit against the major agencies, and kudos for them for fighting for writers and more money. But look at this picture. Does this picture remind you of anything? Yeah, it's barbed wire, machine gun with little pens, and then that's what it reminds you of. It's communist imagery sort of melded into this. Like, hey, I'm all about the Writers Guild, but I'm not about communism, okay? You know, the whole point of this trial, this federal trial against the agencies, it's about capitalism. It's not about communism. They're not trying to change the system of, like, commerce. They are trying to get a better deal for their members. And, you know, which I appreciate. I want to see the writers get more money, but I don't think the Writers Guild, you know, what are they really doing in Hollywood for writers in terms of their power within movies and TV? I don't think a lot of the writers have much power as writers. I think when there's writer-producers, writer-directors, they have tons of power. I think, though, the writers, you know, they tend to take a back seat to everything, and everybody just kind of runs them over and steals their credits. Now, I don't know if this current federal trial is gonna solve anything. I suspect it's mostly just about money, and the guys who are already making money getting more money, and I have no problem with that. It's just, you know, this communist imagery is like, we're fighting for the peoples. I don't think you're fighting for every writer out there, and I would not want to be a part of like some sort of communist thing. But it doesn't surprise me. If you've ever watched Razor Fist, he's got a great video about how red the history of Hollywood and how red it was. So this doesn't surprise me, but it is surprising that, you know, they'd be kind of so blatant about the imagery, you know. But, you know, people in Hollywood, they'd be fine with that, even if they made the connection. So, anyhow, Hollywood, still woke, still very red. And that's about all I got to say.